Okay. Don't yell at me because I don't have my seatbelt on. I just took it off. I'm driving over here. I'm going to show you guys where we wiped the Johnson grass at. It wasn't even a week ago. And I just happened to be in the neighborhood, so I drove down here thinking that, you know, maybe the tops would be a little brown or something. Holy cow. It has not even been a week. Holy cow. Holy cow. Holy cow. Are you kidding me? Wow. I'm not, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm gonna have to go back and see when I wiped this. So I wiped it. It took me at least a couple days to get the video done and all that, but I got the video out fairly soon. Probably maybe 2 days or so, and I'll try to post this tonight. But look at this stuff. I mean, look how tall it is. I'm like 5'7". Look how tall this is. I mean, it's a foot over my head. And almost all of it is a foot over my head. I mean, where I didn't lay it down. You know, there's my truck over there. This stuff's tall. Holy cow, guys. Holy cow. Wow. Thoroughly impressed. Thoroughly impressed. I am impressed. I don't even know what to say. I wish I wiped more, I guess. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is totally unbelievable. Well, okay, so if you're in the market for a weed wiper, I can honestly say, without a doubt, 110%, I would suggest for you to go to Smucker Manufacturing and buy any kind of weed wiper that fits your application. I was scared that the sponge thing wasn't going to work. You know, I talked to one guy and he said, oh, you have to have this roller that spins backwards and it wipes the weeds. And I was like, yeah, I get that. I get that. I'm sure nobody's going to drive back here and get my truck. I left my truck running. That's why I keep looking up there. Let's walk through the jungle. Don't let me fall into the deal. But see how thick this stuff is and how green it is. So, you know, when I'm laying it down like this and wiping it, obviously I didn't think I could get all of it. I honestly thought that if I got at least 50%, I would be really happy about this job. If I got 50%, I would be super surprised. Okay? But you tell me. You tell me. Less than a week that I wiped this. Less than a week. And I bet you I'd put 95% on this job. If not 100%. I would put 95% a kill off on this job. It's a little thinner over here, look. There's the proof. And you can see where I wiped and where I didn't wipe. It's not like it's going dormant and dying. I didn't wipe that. I wiped this. Watch the video. This is I mean, you can see my tracks. There's where my tracks are. I got a 15-foot boom, so I'm 5 foot off my boom, and then it turns green. I know this is going to be a 6-minute video or something with me saying, oh my God, look at this, but there you go. Smucker Manufacturing. Go to Smucker. I'll put it in the description. I think it's smucker.net, or maybe it's smuckermanufacturing.net. But I'll put the link in the description. Google super sponge, and you ought to find it. But it's Smucker, I would say smucker.net or smucker.com. They're probably going to kill me because I don't remember what it was. That's unbelievable. And this is, I mean, I wiped all this. I wiped into there. I wiped kind of around there to try to get this buffered back. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Now I can come by and brush hog it. All right, guys. It's the end of the day, but I did go back and check on that kill rate, or the timing of when I wiped the weeds. I wiped those weeds 5 days ago, and they were totally dead. There were a couple that had a little bit of green left in the stem, not very much. Fully impressed. Next time I do it, sorry, camera's low light. Action cameras don't like, no light around. It's the end of the day. I'm going inside. We're gonna get this video going and get this video up, and it'll be up tomorrow. But I know I've said it before, I've never had that kind of result doing anything, and I was actually pretty skeptical about using those weed wipers just because they're sponges with the spray nozzles in it. But I'm sold. I'll sell the service. I know it's going to work. Go to Smucker and get yourself a kit. Get yourself a boom kit. You can do a build your own kit. You can get one to put right on with a pump and everything. I'd suggest them 100%. See you guys.